Challenge. I mean, my heart's breaking right now because I love being here with you guys. I want to share a moment that happened really this morning with my husband. My husband's probably listening downstairs going, oh no, here she goes again. And the moment that we were sharing with each other was this conversation around just how easy it is to get off your commitments, right? Like, how many of you guys have been like, there's an area of your life right now that you know you need to commit in, like to the next level, right? And this was a personal moment. It had nothing to do with the challenge. We weren't talking about you guys. We were just talking about a next level commitment in our lives that would be really easy to back off of. And it got me thinking about. I actually created a pocket coaching for my clients this morning that I also sent to Gome and a couple other people in our company to listen to. And it was around this conversation about manifesting. And whether you're like into law of attraction, the Bible, whatever it is that you're interested in, you're probably not hanging out with me because you're a slump. You're somebody who actually wants to create a result. And so you've heard the word manifesting. You've probably used it in your life before, but you've also heard that part of manifesting is actually taking action, right? But like a lot of times we take action in isolation. We take it in isolation. Think to yourself, how do you think you're manifesting, or how are you actually in the commitment of manifesting in isolation? What do you think that looks like? Go in the chat right now and tell me, right? Or comment section. What do you think that looks like? Action in isolation. What do you think that looks like? Sending emails, being lonely, very limited. Okay, so impossible. Okay, so here's what I actually meant by that. So this is what I love about the chats, because I can see is my communication landing, and it's not. So let me make sure I land my communication. When you sit and journal or create plans on whiteboards or flip charts or like on pieces of paper, how many of you guys have done it on planes? I mean, I don't know what it is about planes. My husband sits back, puts on his earphones, and watches a movie. No kidding. We're as different as Sarah Blakely and Jesse Itzler. We are so different. He chills, sits back, and he's like watching a movie, and I'm over there like I'm changing the world. I'm like, I got it. Like, I'm just like, I'm hitting him. I'm like, he's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, and so he always has grace for me and listens. But I am going crazy on a plane, creating plans, right? And making things better. Who's like me? Who's like me on a plane? Go say me, because I don't want to be the only one, okay? And so now, if I leave my plans on the paper or in my notebook, where do you think they go? Nowhere. They go nowhere, but they make me feel better, right? They make me feel like I figured it out, and I feel emotionally like ready to take on the world. And I can't even rest until I'm get it all out. But the point is it goes nowhere. And I've read journals that I've actually written in the past. In fact, our house manager and I yesterday were laughing because I just want to do a beta test here. And that is, how many of you guys have so many journals over the years, but none of them are full? Does it annoy you? It annoys me. Like, I feel like I didn't complete what I started somehow. Like, I feel like there's something wrong with this situation. Like, it actually pulls on my energy. Okay, so I'm glad I'm not the only person, because she has the same thing. Her name's Jessie. Anyway, I got on a rant this morning because I was like, listen, you cannot manifest by feeling good. I know law of attraction tells you that, but no, it also tells you need to take action. And it's like, so let's just take law of attraction. You got to take action. I remember sitting there when I learned about law of attraction. I was like, okay, I'm trying to visualize, and I could never get the feeling and the visualization together. Anybody else have that? I couldn't get my feeling in it was almost like I was trying too hard to figure it out, that I could never get it together. It wasn't until I would just be in committed action and be in the activity and have no attachment. By the way, I teach sales this way. I literally teach sales this way. I'm like, when you're write this down, a great line to say, and I don't mean to degrade it by saying the word line, okay? But this is a phrase that I've taught to my clients for at least 9 years now. And that is to say, like, Surya. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but say I'm talking to you and say we're on a sales conversation. And say I said to you, maybe I felt like I was getting too aggressive on selling, or I was getting attached to maybe you buying from me. A great line to say is Soraya or Tiffany or John, whoever you're talking to, say, you know what, John, I'm not attached to you buying, but what I am attached to is being a good coach for you. Or what I am attached to is your vision coming true. Write that down, because it will unhook you. If you say that enough, it will unhook you from the sale. It's like taking that thing in the darkness and bringing it to the forefront. It actually like will unhook you from being attached to the sale. So I've kind of hacked this whole manifesting game because I couldn't do it. Like I just couldn't do it. I couldn't put my feelings, my visualization, my unattachment, my committed action. It was like just trying to remember all those steps was just a freaking mess for me. It was so inconsistent in my ability to create results that I spent more time trying to get those things right, the steps right. Who feels me on this? And so what happens is I'm more focused on trying to get the steps right, that I'm always backing myself into isolation. So if you look at scripture and you look at Jesus or you look at any of that, just follow me, even if you're not into that, right? We know the man existed. And we know he went out and he preached, right? Whether it's Joel Osteen, whether it's Martin Luther King, whether it's Wayne Dyer, whatever. None of these guys sat back and just said, I'm going to write in a journal for these things to happen. I'm going to pray over it and it's going to create. No. There is action in the Bible. There is action in manifestation. There is action in anywhere you play in the game of creation. And so if you're going to just create in your own homes and think that creating these plans that we've been doing or writing down the notes from this challenge and you're going to create the results, it's not going to happen unless you take action. How many of you guys actually went out and took some of the challenges or the stretches, as we call them in leadership, where I've called you forward to go out and make offers? Who's gone and made offers? Put the word offer. Put the word offer in the chat. Who's gone and actually made offers? Because I'm going to go back and look on these chats, right? Who actually went and made offers? Let's look at that in the chat, you guys. Look at that. And if you sat by and you didn't make offers, then look at what's possible for you if you take action. Grab a hold of their energy and realize that if they can do it, you can do it. Let me put it into a new context. This is so important for you to get. Okay, because I'm telling you, your feelings do come down to you taking action. So if the journaling gets you emotionally jived, then you need to take action fast. Money loves speed. And we're talking about money on this challenge, right? It loves speed. So when you're high, take action. When you're high, don't sit back. But think about it like this. Think about your life right now and think what's in it. Some of you guys have health. Your health is good. There is somebody praying right now to be healthy. You have what they want. Some of you guys have new children or have multiple children. There is someone praying right now to have a baby or another baby. Some of you guys have an amazing relationship with someone in your life right now, or you have a relationship that you're neglecting. Somebody's praying to have the opportunity to even have somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. And now think about this and let this be a total shift in your mind right now. That if somebody's praying for what you already have, that means what you want somebody already has. Do you get that? Let that in for a second. What you want to create, what you want to manifest, somebody already has that. That means it's absolutely possible if you take action. They are not better than you. It is impossible. We were all created by the same creator. Nobody is better than anybody. Those are human human labels. Those are not creation labels. They are not truth. Is anybody like hearing me here? This is so important because your brain and your mind and what you perceive, it matters. I know this so much that my people who actually focus on this part of their life, they create results. If you're studying with someone who's teaching like law of attraction, you're not getting results, then maybe they're not the leader for you. Because obviously they're not getting through your walls. You have to shift. And I self-regulate. Nobody tells me what I can create. Nobody. It can't get bad enough. Because if it gets bad, I'm going to focus on getting better. Do you hear what I'm saying right now? This is so important because guess what? It is rare that most of us have somebody in our life. In fact, if you do, this person triggers you. Because it is rare we have somebody in our life that will stand behind us and say, you are not going to give up on yourself. Because what most people in your life say when you become hard to handle emotionally is they want you to just stop. Because if you were to just stop, their life will get better. Now, that's smart on their part, but it's not caring to you. And it's probably a blind spot for them. The person that triggers you and calls you higher, that's the person that today I want you to go say thank you to. Because it's annoying to be your best. It's annoying to admit that you have a blind spot. It's annoying, but how freaking hard is it to keep living without? That is a lot harder. So when I look at manifesting and I look at creating the results that I want to create, the first thing that I have to look at is I got to claim it. Do you know that I spent many, many years of my life trying to build my business and didn't even know what success looks like? I didn't actually know what success looks like. I have clients right now that are crushing it. Like right now this morning, I have a client that's like, I wish I had my phone. Oh, I do. Literally invested, well, put it this way. She's made $150,000 in the last week. Do you know that same person wanted to quit 2 weeks ago? In fact, 2 weeks ago, that person called me up and said they want to quit their entire coaching relationship with our company. I said, I love you. I've seen this pattern before in you. How many of you guys have that pattern of quitting? It's not working for me, right? Same client. I'm like, sweetheart, you want to buy out your agreement? You could totally do that. But let me tell you that this is a pattern I see in you. That when it gets hard, you want to quit. And you want to take it in isolation. And you just want to do it your own way. You know why? Why we want to do it our own way? Our way, there's not as much pressure. We can give up the stretch. We can give up. It's not as much. We'll just take it back in and we'll just do it our little way. But when you got somebody standing beside you, like me or somebody in your life right now that does that for you, and they hold you higher, it's a pain in the butt. Because this is painful. Leveling up is painful. Only emotionally. But but really, like we can't tell the difference. It feels like it's like, oh my God, the risk, right? And for my client, her company has grown so much that her profit margins went way down. And she started to panic. And she's like, well, yeah, because she's taken the coaching. She now has a sales team. She now has a sales manager. She's only been with me for 2 years. This is a year and a half. Right? So she's got a sales team, she's got a sales manager, and she's still playing with the same effort she was before, which means the same effort she was putting in before, right? Do you get what I'm saying? To the income level. So she's making the same income, just a little bit more. And I said, You got to spend more time on your lead gen on the front end, which is why I teach list power, right? And I constantly tell my clients, they don't always listen, but I'm like, you got to focus on lead gen all the time. Never let your hand off lead gen. Okay. You can never get comfortable and go into isolation with this. And so she was putting the same amount of effort on her lead gen, but her expenses has gone up. So even though she's converting and succeeding, which I find a lot with people, you're doing better than you think. You just don't have the volume, so you don't see the explosion of sales. You hear what I'm saying? So I explained that to her, and she's like, but I'm scared. This is where the pain comes in. I'm scared to go more all in on the lead gen because, like, I'm scared. My expenses are high, so I'm feeling debilitated. Who am I speaking to right now? Right? Who am I speaking to right now? So I'm happy to say she didn't quit. She didn't buy out her agreement and run off and do it her way. She stepped up. Now, I will tell you also where I held her in my mind, like literally, and spoke to her. Like, I'm so unattached if people work with me or not. I'm so unattached. Your investment with me is not going to make or break my life. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm probably the safest person to coach with, at least at this point, because I don't even look at it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not paying attention to that stuff. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? And I started that when I had nothing, because I started saying things when I talked to people like, David, I'm not attached to you buying from me, but what I am attached is for you to hit your vision. And when I said that enough times, I started to believe it. And it shifted my whole leadership of how I led, which had a ripple effect on how I made offers, how I did everything. Hear what I'm saying? Do you guys, who's having a bit of an aha moment right now? So now my client, last 2 weeks, took the coaching and now, has that $150,000 a week. She's got something like I don't know exactly, I can't remember. It's like a 40% profit margin in the last 2 weeks. Okay. And she's gone from defeated to wanting to quit and scared. And in just a couple weeks, the messages I'm getting from her are the type of leader you'd want to train with. And that is the type of leader, right? You want to work with someone who's going to walk through their stuff and level up. So now you have to claim it. You claim it, you say, what does success look like? And in this case, for this challenge, what was your goal financially for this challenge? Or did you not have one? And this can be an aha. I cried when I first started to unpack this for myself. I cried because I did not know what success looked like when I hit it. So I was on the hamster wheel of just building. So I want to take somebody off the hamster wheel right now. Cosette Remond, you are the winner of a 30-minute coaching session with me. And because you went all in on your homework, Cosette Remond, I'm going to help you get off your hamster wheel. And I'm going to help you create the business and the life that you want. Now, how does stuff like that happen? Going all in, being seen. Not stopping with the conversation of, well, that's not going to happen for me. I never win. I never get chosen. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, just as much of a chance as not. How hard are you praying? How hard are you showing up? Who are you connected with? Who in the hardcore community knows your name? Does Suzanne know your name? Does Jesse know your name? Does Faith know your name? You see them posting in the Facebook group. Do they know who you are? Relationships create that being seen. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So you have more control over manifesting what you want than you think. You have more control over it than you think. It's just a matter of how are you playing the game? Who knows who you are? Well, that comes down to contribution, connection. That's it. Comes down to contribution, connection, and that's how that turns around for you. So the second thing is, I want you to write down though, real quick, what does success look like for you? What's your next jump? And what does success look like for you? How will you know you hit it? Write it down. And now ask yourself, even this next quarter, next 4 months, how will you know that you had a successful quarter? Which, by the way, is going to take us halfway through the year, right? This next quarter is going to take us halfway through the year. So time to put your tushy in gear, right? Now it's time to put it in gear because we'll be halfway through this beautiful year. So how will you know you're successful in this next quarter? Now, when we go from claiming it, know what you're, I do put financial goals now, but again, work within your leadership. I could not put financial goals when I started my business, or even when I was in my early 7 figures in a business, I couldn't put income goals. Because if I put income goals, I would never hit them. Who's like that in here? When you put income goals, you don't hit them. Okay, so there's some of you guys who are like me, so perfect for me to share this. I would put numbers, like how many enrolled lives. And I would put them on, these wall size Post-its, I swear I wish I invented them. Because I'd be selling them to you, because I know I sell a lot of these, because people go buy them, because literally this is my business plan. So whatever, say my number is that I'm going to work with 40 people in my PACE program. That's my flagship program, right? That's where my most successful people go through, my PACE program. So that 40 would literally be, this is what it would look like. It would literally be on the back of my door. Can you guys see that? It would literally be on the back of my door, and it would look like this. This is what it would look like. And then every day I would focus on this. It would be me and Jean, who actually helps me lead PACE, right? The two of us tag team. And so we would both do this. We'd be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'd usually hate using the bullets. So then I would start going, 40 minus 5 is 35. And then once we enrolled a couple more, it would be 30. And then I would start with different colors, which is because I would grab it and I'd be like, we're at 28 more people to our goal. And I'd be like, we got, 10 more. We got 8 more, 7 more. Do you guys see what I'm saying? And then I would win. Do you know I fill events this way? Still to this day, this goes on the back of my door and I fill events. I don't focus on how much money I want to make. I actually focus on how many people I want to serve. And I track those metrics, and that's really worked for me. And that's why I'm always surprised what I've actually made, because then I go back and I calculate it afterwards, because if I think about how much money that is, it would still throw me off. You know what I mean? So I do have financial intentions for the year now, but my gap has changed to my belief on that I can reach them. But it was a long time before I started doing that. And this is always the number that, and honestly, I should probably go back to this. I do this for my micro now. So thank you for actually serving me right now as I'm having an aha moment of myself, is that like Zone Event or any of my programs, when I was really connected to my numbers like this, I would do it like this and I would close the gap. And it's always really worked for me. And then I figure out how much money that is afterwards, after I've hit it, because it would intimidate the heck out of me if I did it any other way. Do you think 40 is easier? I mean, do you think, say it's 400, do you think 40 is easier to digest than 400,000? Yeah? Yeah. So it's a mind freaking game. So you better play a game on your mind, because it's a mind game. Okay? The second thing, so these wall size, go get these wall size Post-its. See, I'm still making offers. Just nonstop, right? nonstop. You got to learn how to make offers. Second thing is when you look at the second thing, you need to actually look at how you're going to do that. Now, the how is the easiest. I'm going to prove that to you right now. The how is the easiest. Let's take a hot seat real quick. Who wants me to show you how to claim a certain income goal or numbers goal? Okay. I want someone with enthusiasm because I'm not putting you on the video to be low energy. Okay, I need some enthusiasm. Otherwise, you'll drag down the whole group, I'm telling you. If we're not okay, hold on. Ashley.
Aha! I knew it. I claimed it. Okay. So I want to. So what do you want me to? What are we doing with the claim?
Like, I need to know. Like, I want to show you how to make money. What can I? What's in front of me? What do I've got to work with?
Okay, so I'm doing 1-to-1, but I want to go to group pods like you were talking about. So I'd like to bring 5 women into a group pod and do a 6-month mastermind with them.
Okay, haven't I already helped you on this?
No, I don't think that we had. No, you did not help me. The only time I've talked to you, you asked me about my wins.
Okay,
I said that I signed.
Can we put her on with me, please? Okay, so Ashley, what is it that, just real quick, what transformation do you help people with?
So I help women do self-mastery and leadership. So I really help women get to the core of what it is that they want to do in their life and create action around it to bring that into their life. So
okay, so what part of that have you done really well?
So I'm really good at helping them get in tune with their vivid vision and
forget about them for a second. What in your own life, give me an example in your own life that you have actually done this really well.
So I have embodied like who I am and lived my life authentically, and then created goals from that. Like it had gotten very in touch, like building my business. And so I've been actively building my business on like my terms and stuff and creating money from that. So,
okay, so and have you done that okay, so do you guys get what I'm doing right now? I'm trying to find the one piece in that. Like, I get she's a powerful woman and she's out there making it happen, right? But like, for instance, when I started my business, I never taught financial freedom because I didn't have it, right? What I taught was the part I was really good at. I was really good at spotting an opportunity and creating the result from it. And I did it in corporate America. I got my last 2 jobs. I did not deserve them. I was not qualified. I did not deserve them. One of them I got fired from. I created a great result for them, but I was a nightmare for the accounting firm. I was a nightmare for the rest of the company because I didn't have the leadership. I just focused on, it was the nightclub industry. I focused on filling the nightclub industry and, and running and I got the nightclub popping, lots of people, but the accounting firm wanted to kill me. I screwed up payroll every single week. I had such a blind spot. I was in my 20s and I just I couldn't see it, but they hated me. Like, honestly, like the company hated me. They couldn't understand why the owner was so protective over me. But eventually he came to me and said, Shanda, I'm going to let you go. Because I know it's a shock to you because you feel like you've done a really good job, and you have in many areas, but I'll give you an opportunity. Would you like to resign? If you want to resign, you can resign. However, you are going to leave the company. And I resigned, and I told the story for a long time that I resigned. It took a lot of guts on my part to stand up and say, really, I actually got fired. They were just nice, okay? And so now I went from that job to and I was the general manager of that nightclub, okay? Then I went to, and I could not lead a team, by the way, we're shit, okay? And then I went over and I went into real estate. And I became the VP of I want you guys all to think of this in your area. What have you done right? Because a lot of times people are selling a concept and they haven't done the intimacy to pull the piece out really well. So from that job, I went to real estate and I became a VP of investor relations. Again, I had zero qualifications. I still don't know how to write a real estate contract. I can't help you guys buy a house. I can help you find one, but I cannot help you buy a house legally because I can't write the contract. Now I became a VP of that, and we contracted over $170 million in sales, right? In real estate in 15 months. Obviously very good at sales and marketing. I took that and started this company, and then took everything I learned from those two companies and I took my wisdom into this and started building out. So when I started, I was like, okay, I'm good at marketing, I'm good at sales, but really, what am I good at? I'm good at helping you spot an opportunity, clearing the distractions. I didn't know it was leadership, right? And clearing the distractions and making that thing happen, like getting the job. So, Ashley, in your world, what are you good at with this? Hold on, let me unmute again.
Sorry, I'm at work and yeah.
That's okay.
Actually, what you just said, that's what I'm really good at, because I've been the leader of many teams, and what I'm really good at is getting people clarity and getting them zoned into what they want to do and creating results around that. So that's actually what I do actively. That's the one thing that's consistent in every woman that I coach. So they get clarity and they get result. They get clarity, focus, and results.
Well, you do it by helping them focus.
Yes.
Right? Focus, yes. Accountability. I spelled that wrong. Focus, accountability, and follow through.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, this is what people will pay for. I see what I'm saying? This is much more clear than what she was saying before. How many of you guys would love to get clear on the result that you want to create, right? Get really, really crystal clear on it. Develop the game plan, right? Develop the game plan. And execute on the result and get it. Who would be interested in that? Go in the chat and say me. Okay, so you can see that, Ashley, in the chat. And so maybe you can't on your phone, but it's in the chat. There's a bunch of them saying me, okay?
Yeah, I can see it.
What I'm selling is I'm selling the focus, accountability, and follow through. So now if I was pitching this, I would literally think of like the teams you've built, the things that you've built, and the people that you've helped, and I would literally pull from them. And I would say, so I'm going to take similar in that way. So get ready for your 8-figure company. And so, but you need to go where you're strongest and not sell the I help people create financial freedom, because you don't.
Okay.
What you help people do is you help people get clear on what it is that they want, create a game plan, and execute on that game plan to create real consistent results. And I've been able to do that in my history of running teams, doing this, doing that, fill in the blanks, right? And so how we do that, here's what you get. You're going to get a focus plan that is connected to a well-orchestrated game plan that's absolutely crystal clear. You're going to know what you're going to focus on every single week over the next 6 months of your life or 10 months of your life, right? I'd say no less than 10, okay? Next 10 months of your life. We're going to hold you accountable. How you do that, you need to create that, right? How I do that is with performance-based coaching now. Right? How I used to do that is with maybe 2 calls a month or Voxer support where people can Voxer me. You got to put in the how. You got to put the steps underneath the accountability factor so that they feel good about that. And then we're going to show you how to follow through with it. And the way that we do that is bullet, bullet, bullet. So you need to take these are your 3 pillars. We know the game plan piece, and I think that you're good at that piece. Now you just have to build out how you're going to hold them accountable and how you're going to help them follow through to success and what's on the end of that for them. Okay?
Awesome. Okay.
Now, everybody write this down. If you're going to sell something, you must get really clear on the cost. Thank you, Ashley. Okay?
Thank you.
Get really, really clear on the cost. Okay, everybody, you have to get clear for your own cost, and you got to get clear for your clients, customers, whoever it is that you're working with. You got to get clear for their cost. Do you understand what cost means? Do you guys understand what cost means? Okay, no. Okay, so thank you for being honest about that. Okay, costs look like, okay, think about something right now. Think about something you really want right now. Like really, really want right now. So I'm going to do the same thing so I can be in the energy with you. Um, okay. So now think about something that you really, really want. And let's say, Charlene, let's pop you up here for a second. It's kind of a vulnerable moment, by the way. If you're not up for it, you don't have to do it.
No, it's okay. I'm okay.
Okay. So pop Charlene up with me. So now, Charlene, what is it that you really want?
Right now in business or in my life in general?
Whatever.
Okay. Revenue. I want revenue to see that I'm on the right path.
Okay. So what type of revenue?
I'm a creativity coach. So what I really, really want is to get people into creating and to claiming their
Okay,
life
now what
as
she's
an
doing
artist.
is she's going away from herself.
Okay.
You see that? So now she's actually protecting herself and doesn't even know it. So get back here,
Okay.
and go, what type of revenue would you like to create?
To be honest, €2,000 would get me out of a lot of trouble.
Okay, so if you were to really go past survival and got into vision, what is the vision of what you would like to create?
Vision would be 5,000 per month.
Okay, so everybody do that exercise with yourself, right? A lot of times we do pick like I want this, and it is some level of like settling for it, right? And so instead of settling for life or tolerating life, what is the vision? So 5,000 euros a month. So now ask yourself, like, what is the cost you're paying for not having that $5,000 a month?
Oh God. um, living in a place that I hate. Really low self-worth because I'm not able to monetize on my talents. Being extremely angry at the things that happen to me and at the people.
Who in your life is paying? Who in your life is paying the cost of you not
Me.
having that 5,000?
Me, absolutely me.
Okay, so when you say you, like specifically, how are you paying the like? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like Charlene, like it's deeper than that. Like, yes, you're living in a place that you don't want to live in. I mean, it's your time, it's your life. Like you're paying years of your life just because you're not creating the $5,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
You're living without. Are you married? Are you in a relationship?
No, that's a cost that I pay.
That's what I'm saying. Do you even have the capacity?
No.
Right? Do you have the openness to be able so the cost you're paying is being alone?
Yeah.
Right? The cost that you're paying is being alone, living in the place that you don't want to live in. The cost you're paying is that you're not actually getting to see what you're capable of.
Yeah.
The cost you're paying is your legacy. I mean, there's a big cost to this. The cost you're paying is how many sleepless nights do you have because of this? Right? What type of pressure? Who are you to your family because of this pressure? Like, are you kind? Are you grumpy? I think you said you're angry.
I'm more on the grumpy side.
Yeah. So, and who's attached to that grumpiness? Who are you grumpy to?
I don't really have a lot of people in my life. So I'm mostly grumpy towards myself and the pressure. I'm 42 years old. I know I don't look like that, but I'm 42 years old. The cost of like the pressure makes everything worse.
Yeah.
Because I, even if I love what I'm doing, there's always this, yeah, but you're not making money. And I have this mindset that being poor actually means being a bad person. I don't apply that to anybody but myself. So when I read stories here in the chat or in Facebook in this group, and I see people struggling, I have so much compassion. And for myself, I just don't. For myself, it's just like,
okay, so
make
now
something,
let me
like create money.
everybody needs to get this. So I would write that up on a wall, and I would put the cost I'm paying is this. So the cost you're paying is your freedom. The cost you're paying is you're paying a very, very deep cost in not feeling worthy to connect with people and to develop friendships or feel like you have the space to be able to do that because you're so focused on trying to figure out how to make this money so that you can survive. So do you guys get this? Like, she's paying a very, very deep cost. And there's a part that you're not letting me past right now. And it's okay. I'm not going to push you to go there. But you really need to keep going past this point so that, because it should cause you to break. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Maria, Mia, you know what I mean? Like, it should cause you to break. Like, when I think like the cost I paid to wait, the cost I paid to wait to fall in love and have a child is another child. Do you see how I can go there? The cost that I paid being so ambitious and not focusing on getting coaching is massive. It's massive. Do you see what I'm saying? And I will not pay that cost now. I will not pay that cost now. The reason why I can take flex time and be relentless about it and if people like, I'll let somebody push into it so far and then I'm like, no, because the cost I would pay is missing my son. The cost I would pay is not being connected to my husband. I already paid that cost. I'm not paying it while I have it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the cost that I pay for having somebody on the team that doesn't do their job is not just sleepless nights. It's not having the energy at the end of the day to play with my child. So it's not just, do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, so the cost you're paying for maybe not having a virtual assistant in your life to help you, people are paying those costs. For you, Charlene, people aren't getting to be in relationship with you. You're not getting to experience love. You're not getting to experience connection. You're not getting to experience what friendship is like. Like, the cost that this money has over your life is bullshit. It's bullshit. That cost is extraordinarily too high. And so when we can get connected with our cost, it's not about beating ourselves up. It's about going, forget you. I'm going to do the pipeline build like Ash taught last week or earlier this week, right? Like, I'm going to contact 100 people today, even if I don't know where they're coming from. I'm going to figure it out. When we start operating like that, how many of you guys actually went and made offers? I know I asked this earlier, but quite a few of you. And even though Charlene, you may have made offers and nobody came forward, you don't stop. Because if you got that cost sitting in front of you, that cost is too high. It's too high. And until we can drive ourselves from our costs, then we can make decisions faster because we're clear. Do you get what I'm saying? We're clear. Thank you, Charlene, for jumping up. We're clear. And when you're clear, you can actually move. So when I say money loves speed, I'm saying money loves speed because you can make a fast decision and stop being in your emotions of, well, I don't want to be a bad person or I don't want this. Guys, I'm going to tell you, it is tough to be a top leader. You know why? You have to get clear about your costs, which takes honesty and intimacy. And when you're not connected to that, when I'm not connected to that, things take too long to manifest in my life because you already know what you got to do. You already know what you got to do. And when we second guess and him and ha about what it is that, like, are we going to take action on something? Am I going to do the things that Shanda's taught in the revenue challenge? Am I going to go to Jeff Walker's workshop? Right? Am I going to do this type of stuff? Am I going to go to, am I going to go to List Power Intensive? You get what I'm saying? Like, am I going to take action on the betrainedbyus.com site? Right? Like, am I going to do this type of stuff? When we're not clear about our costs, we start assessing and analyzing, and we miss our life. And we literally miss our life. So the third thing is you have to forgive. I know this sounds really weird. I get it. But you have to forgive. You got to forgive other people. You got to forgive yourself. You got to get your power back. If you're going to lead and make money, you got to get your power back. You got to get it back. There's no other way through it. I can tactic you till the sky comes home, but you got to get your power back. And the only way you do that is through forgiveness. The minute that you leave a relationship, leave a business, quit on something, you're running. Of course, there's an exception. If you're being physically abused, that's not what I'm talking about right now. But what I'm talking about is when we quit because we emotionally are right about quitting, or we're emotionally right about not taking action, or we beat ourselves up, all that stuff is connected into forgiveness because we got to get our power back. And when we get our power back, we can actually create a result. Go in the chat and tell me what you're hearing me say. Go in the chat and tell me what you're hearing me say. Soraya, what are you hearing me say?
It's Soraya, but not Soraya. But I've wasted so much time being afraid and analyzing and not taking action. And I mean, it's not like I didn't know that, but I feel it really deeply right now.
Yeah, I can tell. Did you happen to jump into our life and business package last week?
I did.
Okay.
And I literally used like my last $1,000. I don't know where I'm gonna make the next payment.
Okay. So I'm gonna give it to you for free. So we're gonna give her back her money, and I'm gonna give it to you for free. Okay. So let me tell you something, Soraya. Breath.
Thank you.
So good you're connected with this, and you have a lot of life left. You have a lot of life left. You know, Louise Hayes started Hay House, I believe, at 70. Do you know what I mean? And created a huge empire. You have a lot of life left. And remember that. And so you've got another break. Call it the universe, call it God. I call it God. I think God created the universe. I don't think the universe created us. You know what I'm saying? And so you've got another opportunity. So go all in.
Thank you.
Go all in. We got you. Okay. Thank you for coming up. I'm sending you love, and we got you. Okay. So I want you guys to hold on to that. And I saw her emotionally, something coming up for her. And so hopefully you all were blessed with something coming up for you. Michael Strasner, who teaches our third level of our leadership, who was on here a couple of days ago, he's the third level trainer in our leadership. And that man cries every single day. He cries every single day. And he says that we're ripped off. We're ripping ourselves off if we don't. We're ripping ourselves off if we don't. So you guys, we're coming to the end of the revenue challenge. We're sliding into home base. I'm going to leave the trainings up for a little while so you can go in there and you can watch the trainings. And I hope you do. I hope you take some time and go through like really your cost, because if you can't get connected to yours, you're not going to be able to lead it. So when I'm talking to you, Shauna or Amanda or any of you, David, when I'm talking to you guys, or when my team's talking to you, we're looking at your cost. Even though you're over there talking about your talking, and I know you can see it with other people, can't you? When you're talking to people about what they're trying to do, you can see right through their crap. You can see right through it. And you're like, you're really committed to your cost living versus you living. You're really committed to your cost living versus you living. And so if you can do that for yourself, you're going to motivate yourself to go, right? To take action. When you can do that for other people and you don't have the authority to do it for other people until you do it for yourself. When you do it for yourself, you can lead on such a different level. And it all comes down to that. And I take a moment and I'm going to ask you guys right now, there's a couple of you guys who had some questions as we kind of close down the revenue challenge. And people ask me, Shanda, if I jump into the club and what if I've already done list power, can I get the bonuses from last week? All that type of stuff. The answer right now is yes. Not only am I going to create a payment plan for you guys who couldn't afford to jump into betrainedbyus.com for me to train you for an entire year for $700, I now just created a 3-pay payment plan on that page that's available. I got 3 Instagram messages just this morning alone that I saw that were people asking, do you have a payment plan? So the answer is yes. Now there is a payment plan. People ask me, what days of the week is the club where we're going to train you in your enrollment and your sales, which by the way, the cost is connected to, okay? Every Wednesday and Thursday, the club gets trained 3 weeks, the first 3 weeks out of every month at 10:30 a.m. California time. It's all replays are there if you can't be on live, but we'll train you 6 days out of an entire week. The last week of the month is flex time. So it's off time. Why? Because you need to be and not missing your life. You need to not be missing your life while you're doing this. Okay. So Wednesdays and Thursdays are the club calls at 10:30. I'm throwing in Barry and Jeff from last week. We're going to throw in their workshop. So if you weren't on last week's training, you don't know what I'm talking about, but Barry, you guys go in the chat if you loved Barry, right? Barry will show you 17 different ways to create something called Program at a Glance to do all different virtual events. She does Tony Robbins' event. She does our event. She does Jeff Walker's event. She used to do Suzanne Evans' event. She does a lot of our events. So she understands all of our offers. She's kind of a collection of all of us and what it is that we do to monetize events. And so her training will be May 11th. Write that down. You guys who already jumped in, you're good to go. You guys who already jumped into the Be Trained by Us for the club this week, to be trained for the year by us, you guys are going to get this as well. Okay. So I know lots of you guys are excited about this right now, hopefully. So Barry's training on May 11th from 12 to 2 is now yours. Jeff's training around your product launch. He has never bonused this fulfillment workshop into anybody's company or programs, products, or services. And so this really is a prayer, a heaven opening for many people. So May 14th through the 16th, right? And then List Power Intensive, we will be training next week, Wednesday through Friday. Yara was yesterday for the Copy Club, but I'll throw that in today. For the Copy Club, for you guys who couldn't make the 3-pay, because I think messaging is really important. And the payment plan we got. So I want to leave it at this. I want to share something with you. We've covered a lot of ground over the last 14 days. For some of you guys who have been with us for 14 days, you all have the access to the trainings. And here's what I can tell you. I can share with you that not only does your message matter, but your life matters. Not only that your message matters, but your life matters. And you don't want to be sitting in the, I'm enrolled, I'm excited, I want to actually create this result. And you like study and you stay on things like this. But at the end of the day, you're still missing your life. And I'm not trying to put pressure on you, but I'm not here to be your friend right now. I'm here to encourage you to go all in. And I've been enrolled before. I've sat in Starbucks and had nothing to show for my results after the day. Who else has been like that, right? I have sat on the sidelines. You have sat on the sidelines of your business being enrolled, like only if this would come together. Nobody's coming for you. Have you realized that? Nobody's coming for you. We have to be the change. We have to stand up. And we need to move from enrolled over to committed. We need to be committed. We need to, instead of focusing on, will somebody give me a break? Will somebody show up? Or only if the money was there, or. Instead of being in that conversation, we need to think, Shauna, about who needs me? What is the cost that is being paid for other people in my life because I haven't shown up yet? Maybe your future life. It could be your parents who are going to need you, like mine, right? It could be your kids who need you. It could be your grandchildren. I mean, if you can get outside of what you need, you will become the type of leader that will create the results. I know I can help you get there. I absolutely know I can help you get there, but I can't do it for you. You got to jump in and be trained by us, so that we and the crew that runs Heartcore and our friends will come in and support you. We've laid all this out, so as you go through the trainings, it comes together. So I'm excited to meet the people who did jump in last week and this week. I'm excited to meet you. I'm going to see you next week in the List Power Intensive, next Wednesday. It's 3 full days, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You guys who are still sitting on the fence, the offer is not getting any better. The offer is not getting any better. You can do a 3-pay, or you can do the $700, and you got us. You got all of us. I don't know the last time you got an army of A players, Jeff, Barry, myself, Jim, Ash. You got 5 of us that success leaves clues. And all 5 of us have massive amounts of success. And we're all the same type of people, which means you're not going to spin. Okay. It's not like where you got 27 bonuses and everybody's a different personality and spins you. We are all going in the same direction. And that's how I designed it. So we got you. Now are you willing to take a chance on you? Sending you so much love, you guys. This is officially the completion of the Revenue Challenge. And I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to seeing you inside of the Facebook group. And maybe if you're lucky, I might get excited about maybe doing a live tomorrow. We'll see. Sending you so much love. God bless.